A new teaser just dropped for a new Zelda game.
For those of you who don't know what The Legend of Zelda is, it is a Nintendo game set in a fantasy world known as Hyrule.
This fantasy world hosts mythical creatures, magic, runes, special abilities, demons, goblins, and all sorts of crazy things.
But the question is...
could a sci-fi show like Doctor Who go to a place similar to this very mythical realm?
We're about to find out in... can Doctor Who enter a fantasy world similar to The Legend of Zelda?
Doctor Who can often shoot down fantastical things with a scientific explanation, but there are some examples we can use to back a fantasy adventure.
In Series 2, the Doctor crashed into a parallel universe.
This was proof that alternate universes do exist in Doctor Who. And this was also proof that the Doctor can venture further than the universe he seems to know so much about.
In Fear Her, we found a creature named the Isolus that can generate worlds with their thoughts.
And if the events of Fear Her happened again, but with a slightly nerdy child, a fantasy world may not be too far-fetched.
The Carrionites are pretty much the stereotypical witch with their spells and voodoo dolls.
The Doctor said they use words in the way we use mathematics, but yeah, it was pretty much witchcraft.
In the fires of Pompeii, some humans could predict future events, and fairly accurately too.
Is this proof that mystical powers can exist in Doctor Who? The Doctor does seem very confused when he hears their words.
In Series 5, we saw the Doctor, Amy and Rory enter a dream world. It generated a dream of something the Dream Lord thought they would like.
Who's to say the Dream Lord wouldn't make a world based on something like The Legend of Zelda for a video game lover? But then again, these dreams do have to be believable.
The Doctor faced quite a foe in Series 8.
He faced a monster that was from another dimension. These creatures were from a world where 3 dimensions were less known.
So if there is an area in the universe where dimension knowledge varies, is it too much to ask to see one where magic exists?
And last year in the 13th Doctor's first series, we saw a being who could create whole universes.
The sciencey bit.
Some scientists believe that the way our world works, and all we know, could be completely different depending on their area of the universe.
So, the Doctor may get a surprise and go to a part of the universe where their idea of physics doesn't add up. Somewhere like the Kingdom of Hyrule.
And bear in mind, the Doctor was very wrong about the existence of Robin Hood, so it is possible.
Doctor Who are pushing the boundaries of space more and more.
And as the Doctor says, the universe will surprise you, constantly.
So, just to recap,
how can it work?
Magic, if you could call it that, could have a scientific explanation, so a world like Zelda's may have a perfectly logical explanation, like the powers of the Carrionites.
The Doctor may find an area of the universe where things cannot be so easily explained, like the world of the boneless.
Or a being like the Solitrax from It Takes You Away, or the Isolus from Fear Her, could create a fantasy world, and someone like the Dream Lord could even use a fantasy world as a trap.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this Mad Siri video. I've been Christopher.
And I've been Lewis.
And you've been...
Brilliant!